We are good to go with audio and visual. How are y'all doing? Is it a good night wherever you happen to be hailing from? If you can hear my voice clearly, if you can see our screen, if you can just type in the questions box yes, so we know we are good to go. Awesome. We've got a bunch of yeses.
Seeing a lot of
Can
yeses.
hear, yes. Can hear, hello, yes. Awesome. Okay, you guys are on point. I like it. They're paying attention, Caesar.
They're no joke, man. These
know.
people follow Tanya Aliza. I mean, come on.
Right? And Caesar Rodriguez.
Indeed. What's up, everyone?
All right, so we like to have a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight because it is our great honor to actually have somebody come out and train with us and share with you guys something that we've actually been using in our business. So I'll give you a little backstory. I'm going to introduce you to a good friend of mine who's going to be co-hosting training with me tonight, which you guys might have heard of him. He is kind of famous. His name is Justice Egan. And if you guys know him, that's awesome. He is, out there on social media, rocking and rolling in his business. We actually worked together on a couple of different projects. And beyond working together, Justice is a very good friend of Caesar and I's. He's been to our wedding last year, and we very much respect his ability to market, and he is an awesome friend. He likes golf, and he likes Miller Lights, guys. Those are his hot points, if you saw my Facebook post, right? But actually, I've known, Caesar and I have known Justice for many years. Justice has actually been to the last couple of masterminds that I hold privately at a very exclusive high dollar amount where he's come out and trained on some points of marketing that he's really good at, and you're going to learn some of that this evening in this wonderful training that we've got lined up for you. But it was interesting. So Justice, we had asked him to come and hang out with us over the New Year's Eve holiday. We were like, come down. He lives in New Jersey. We live in North Carolina in Wilmington on the beach. We said, hey, the weather's warmer down here. Let's go party, hang out here. So he came down, and we spent a few days together. We actually spent about a week. And every time that Justice and I get together, we start talking marketing and masterminding on how we can build our businesses and grow our teams. And one of the things that Justice was sharing with me over breakfast one morning got me completely intrigued. And then I said, Justice, you have to show me what you're doing, and I have to test it because this is so cool. And so he shared with me a really cool Facebook strategy that he had shared previously with a very small beta group, and he was sharing some of the results and testimonials that he got by sharing this really easy Facebook strategy to stir up more business. And I was like, holy smacks, I've got to know about this. So he taught me his strategies. You're going to learn a little bit tonight, and I started putting them into place. I also started putting them into place at an even greater amount over the last couple of days, and the results have been fabulous. I was telling Justice today I was getting 15-cent leads, people who want to hear from me about my business, 15-cent leads at some points, and I was like, I've never had these kinds of results before. And he was like, I know, they're crazy. He's like, my phone keeps ringing, and I keep getting text messages from people telling me these same things. And it's so dead dog simple what he's doing. That's what I really like about it. It's so duplicatable on Facebook where everybody is, and I know my people love social media. You guys like social media, right? If you do, type a I love social media in the comments box. But Caesar's getting antsy. He wants to say something. So Caesar, what do you want to say?
I was going to say, my people like social media too.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't want to get more recruits, more sales, and more business from social media? So it's the best of both worlds.
So yes, absolutely. We love social media. It's a big part of our business. But I just wanted Justice to come out. I was like, Justice, what do I have to do? I know you like Miller Lite. I know you like golf. Can I bribe you with those two things? Can you come out and share with your people?
Always, yeah.
Yes, right? So you guys now know Justice's hot buttons. But he's amazing at what he does. And he's put something together that I've kind of, encouraged. He said he was doing it. I said, you've got to do this and you've got to do it big because I think it will help a lot of people. So I am honored to bring my friend Justice and marketing genius buddy out to train you guys tonight on what we've been doing on Facebook that's been working so amazingly. So you can take this training, apply it to your business, and then teach this stuff to your team and become a rock star in your team. You guys ready? Justice, are you ready?
I am so ready. I'm so pumped to be out here. I'm so honored to be out here. Kind of Famous was very generous of you. Famous by association, maybe. I do spend a lot of time at Tanya and Caesar's house, so I think maybe the little that's rubbed off on me. But yeah, no, I'm just super pumped to be out here. I mean, I don't usually get on a webinar with a couple, right? I feel like I'm hanging in your living room, right? Like we're hanging out here, and I've got some really cool stuff to share with your people. So
I'm pumped. Let's do it.
Hey, man, let's get it.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, I'm going to dive in. If we're good, I'm ready to rock, all right?
I'm ready to rock.
Cool, cool. Well, guys, I mean, guys, you are in the right place following Tanya and Caesar. I got to tell you, I mean, not only is it just an honor to be out here, but they are seriously not just two of the best marketers out there, but two of the best people out there. I mean, I've been around this industry for a little while now, and there is nobody I've gravitated to more. And I mean, I've learned more from. I really just one of the greatest and most valuable connections I've made in this industry. So guys, you are in the right place. Now tonight, I'm going to share with you what I believe is the hottest online strategy to generate leads right away. Okay, and what I love about this is, like Tanya was saying, it's different, it's easy, and no matter what kind of business you're promoting, what I've got here for you is going to blow you away. Now, I'd just like to get introduced to you guys. If you could go down in the comments, let me know who you are, where you're dialing in from. I'm going to be asking for a lot of engagement tonight because I'm going to have a lot of questions for you, and I'm going to use some of the answers I get in the training. We got Kathleen from Mississippi, Natalie from Washington, D.C., was it? Karen from Ontario, Amy from Louisville. Now it's going really fast. Jim Dickinson from New Jersey, my home state, New Jersey. That's why Caesar likes me, because I'm from New Jersey. Kind of I got a little sarcasm to me. Let's see. Wow, New Hampshire, Texas, Tennessee. All right. Well, guys, I'm pumped. I'm going to be looking for engagement all night long, so get ready to use that hand. Get ready to use that chat box. Let me take a quick sip of water here. And let's dive in, right? So I'm just curious, guys. How would it feel if you could make more sales or sponsor more reps on demand? You can make the decision to make it happen. What would it feel like if you actually hit the next bonus with your company, or you crushed your sales goals within the next 30 days? What if you were able to do this all without prospecting strangers, doing one-on-ones, hotel meetings, and sacrificing your free time blogging and doing videos every day? Now, I'm not saying don't do that stuff. You absolutely should. But sometimes time gets a little tight. Sometimes it'd be nice to have a prospect coming to you. Would it not? Guys, what would that be worth to you? Go on down in the comments. Let me know what kind of value would that have. Now, I see somebody says, I can't see anything. Okay, everybody else can see us, right? Gold, lots of value, everything, very valuable. I'm fired up and ready. Awesome, Victor. Self-esteem. Okay, I get it. Totally big, great value, priceless. Well, if you've ever struggled to consistently produce leads, sales, and signups in your business, and you always feel like you're missing something to get the results you desire, well, I got to tell you something. I know exactly how you feel. You see, it wasn't that long ago that I was a waiter, right? I spent 17 years in the restaurant business. I was working the plan. Anyone know the 40-40-40 plan, right? Only to lose my job one day. First time I ever lost a job, and I found myself with nothing to show for it, right? Nothing to show for years of sacrifice. I had literally skipped Thanksgiving and Mother's Day and friends' weddings and all this different stuff in the name of the job. And then after 3 months of being unemployed, I had nothing. And I said, this is broken. Something's wrong here. That's when network marketing found me. I didn't find network marketing. It found me. Somebody handed me a business card. I actually lost that business card. Talk about being the perfect prospect. Lost the business card. I called him back. How much would you like to have a prospect like me? I called him back and said, hey, what was that thing you gave me? He told me. I went to the website, I watched the video, I slept on it, I tossed and turned, got up, found money, scraped it together, and joined. No questions, no objections, no anything. And that was when my journey in home business started. But I lacked confidence and skills. I really did. And I went on to make a whopping $98 in my first 10 months. Now, unfortunately, that is not a typo. And I'm curious, who feels just a little bit better about the way they started out in business? Maybe if you've been off to a little bit of a slow start, do you feel any better now that here I am on the webinar with you, ready to teach you some really cool stuff? And in my first 10 months, I made $98. I'd be embarrassed to tell you how much I spent. Okay, me, yes, LOL, me, good. I feel you. Okay, well, don't worry about it. One day, I injured my back. I was out of work. I was going further into debt. I was literally stuck at my dad's house out of work. And I was forced to make a really difficult decision. It was the first time I got on an online training kind of like this. And I was not computer savvy. I only knew how to use Microsoft Word. That was it. I didn't know if I could go back to waiting tables. And I watched a training similar to what you're on, and it opened my mind to something. And I had this crazy idea that I was going to leverage the internet to get leads, and that I was going to do this, and I was going to make it happen. And the way the universe tests is kind of funny. The next day, I got a phone call from a guy that had my dream job ready for me. I had been interviewing with him for 6 months. And he finally buckled on salary and everything I wanted, and he said, I want you to come work for me. And I stopped, and I said, the gears were still spinning from what I saw the night before, and I said, I could be back in this chair 5 months later, having spent 5 more years with nothing to show for that time, other than the fact that I gave those hours away building someone else's dream. And so, like a crazy man, I picked up the phone, and I called him back, and I said, Tom, I'm sorry, but I'm not the same person that you interviewed. I'm afraid you're going to have to give this job to someone else. Who got a little uncomfortable? I get uncomfortable just talking about it. But that was the day I made a commitment. That was the day I made a decision. It was the day I jumped. And after that, I began to learn the core concepts of how to attract qualified prospects using the internet. My best strategy of which you're going to learn tonight when you stick with me to the end of this webinar. Now, since then, I've become a top 10 producer all time in one company out of 100,000 people. I've won multiple marketing awards, been invited to speak and train at major industry events, right? And I've also generated 40,000 leads, recruited as many as 11 people into my network marketing business in 24 hours. I've personally recruited over 1,000 new members into both network marketing and affiliate marketing programs. You can see doing 11 in one day there. Another affiliate program here where I do 60 plus a month at one point. And my life has become very, very different because of it. Things that were not on my radar as a waiter are now very much on my radar and part of my life, plain and simple, every day. I'm going to be hanging actually with Tanya and Caesar out in Cabo is where we're going, right? Did the Dominican with them. You can see that was actually the first time. There's a picture there in the middle. If you can see me, Caesar, and Tanya at breakfast in Cabo, that was the first time we all really hung out together on vacation. Tasting tequila with my bud Adam Chandler up in the top left there. Zip lining with my bud Ray Higdon. Got to stay at the Waldorf Astoria, that beautiful hotel down there in Park City, Utah. And here's the coolest part. The picture in the bottom left, that picture is in every one of anytime I do a training of any sort, I get to spend time with my nieces, and they are my world. And family was just never part of the priorities in my world. And now Uncle Justice gets to show up unannounced 2-3 times a week, and they don't know life any different. They don't know life with Uncle Justice showing up just the holidays and the family birthday parties, right? They know life where Uncle Justice just shows up. I could live right next door for all they know, right? Here's just some of what you're going to learn tonight. And I just want to be clear, guys. When I share this stuff with you, I don't do it so that it's like, I know sometimes you get out there and you see the turnaround stories, the underdog stories, and everybody's living this great lifestyle. I don't do this to show you how fancy my life is. I do this because it was a training like this that I was on that helped me make a shift where I then started taking action and making decisions that led to this. And at the time, I was a waiter, I was an underachiever, I drank too much, I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day, and I had nothing going in my life. I literally couldn't drag myself out of bed half the time. So if I can have an aha moment that makes that kind of shift, then I show you this because I want to show you what's possible for you. And if a handful of people on tonight's webinar have that light bulb go off and make a change, then that's time better spent than an entire year I would spend at my waiter job. Now, here's some of what I'm going to teach you to try and make that happen. I'm going to walk you through a shockingly simple marketing strategy that you'll be able to implement immediately after this webinar to get prospects to talk to as soon as this time tomorrow. I'm going to share with you the 3 key components to creating a simple Facebook story that'll get you a flood of responses from perfect strangers who want to know more about your product, service, or opportunity. I'm going to show you how to break down the numbers of your no-lose scenario so that your time and money spent in business can help you rake in prospects with little to no downside. Then I'm going to show you the exact point-and-click steps to getting these leads as soon as tomorrow with no prospecting, no content, even with no website, and so much more. Now, I'm going to teach you by sharing excerpts from my latest course called Social Testimonial Profits. Now, over the past few years, I've not only experienced life-changing results, which I told you about, but I've had the privilege of coaching and training over 1,000 home business entrepreneurs on how to create breakthrough in their business, particularly when it comes to growing their business online. And it's become crystal clear that the challenges entrepreneurs like you face are pretty much the same across the board. Here's what I hear. I hear people say that maybe they're spending all their time talking to the wrong people and can't seem to find entrepreneurial prospects who see what you see. I remember feeling like that, going, man, I remember thinking, am I the crazy one? Like no one else sees this, right? Am I the one that was crazy? And I hear people say that to me all the time. Your warm markets run out, and you're left with no option but to start bugging friends and family or awkwardly breaking the ice with strangers. Now, Caesar is a master at teaching you how to do it not so awkwardly, right? He gets you out there closing sales like crazy. But for me, I'd get a little knot in my stomach, right? My palms would get a little sweaty. I'm, believe it or not, as energetic as I am on this webinar, kind of an introvert, a little stranger danger guy, and it definitely was going to take me some time to develop those skills, right? Maybe you've explored or even tried marketing your business online, but are bogged down in all the techie confusion, and you feel like you're getting nowhere. I mean, I was laughed at by somebody I lived with on how much time I spent in front of my computer trying to put a blog together. I think it took me a month to get my first blog post up. That's how technically challenged I was. Maybe you get the online thing, and you get it set up, and you get the whole branding thing, and you get the lead gen thing, but you can't find the time to blog or create videos every day or spend hours prospecting on social media. Can you relate to any of this just a bit? I mean, am I in front of the right audience here? That some of those things that the people I usually train are telling me are the same things that you might be experiencing. Yes, big time, oh my God, heck yeah. Amy says, yeah, Tina, Aline, Melissa, Charles, Barbara, Joy, cool. Yes, can't do everything, no doubt about it. Well, fortunately, there's a solution, and it's what I like to call Facebook story ads. Now, before you hear the word ads and run for the hills and go, oh no, Justice, you don't understand, I'm on a budget, right? I want to tell you that that's exactly how I thought. And later, one day on an experts panel at an event, I was asked if you could do anything differently if you had to start over, what would it be? And my answer was I would have started advertising sooner. Because when I was getting started and I was broke, I didn't understand that advertising wasn't an expense. It was an investment. And the best part about an investment, sometimes you invest in something and you want it to mature down the road, right? But when you invest in an ad, it can mature right away. When you do ads well, it's like you're putting $1 in and getting $2 out. And when you shift your thinking to that, the people who have the least money to spend on ads are the people who need to advertise right now, because it's the fastest way to turn around and solve that problem. And I'm going to help you make that shift tonight. So don't run for the hills. I'm telling you right now, what I'm going to show you, when I got started, it was $5, $10, $5 here, $10 there. I put in whatever I could put in. Now, a few shocking things about Facebook, which we all know Facebook's the biggest social media platform out there. I mean, it's a monster. It's changed the world. But these numbers are pretty alarming. 1.71 billion monthly active users on Facebook now. And this is how many people use it daily. 1.083 billion. They add 500,000 new users daily. 6 new profiles every single second get created on Facebook. So if you think, oh man, they're going someplace else, no, they're still coming, okay? But believe it or not, that's not what makes Facebook so great for advertising. You see, most people don't realize this, but Facebook is like the most advanced digital survey the world's ever known. And their value is primarily driven by how much they can find out about their users. Here's just a list of a few things that Facebook knows about you. Take a look, okay? Friends you've unfriended, things you've eaten, places you've visited, who you're in a relationship with, what your email is, your current employment, apps you've downloaded, websites you visit, videos you watch. The list goes on and on and on. Now, some people are going to go, oh, big brother Justice, that makes me a little scared. But I'm going to tell you something. I see opportunity right here. I see the ability to eliminate objections. I see the ability to have the perfect people to get your message in front of the perfect people who are predisposed to respond. You know, it's undeniable that Facebook knows exactly who the people are that are already want your product, service, or opportunity. No convincing necessary. In fact, they'll even let you get your message smack dab into the middle of your perfect prospects newsfeed for pennies. There's just one problem. There's always a problem, right? No one comes to Facebook to be advertised or sold stuff. Now, I'm just curious. You can go down to questions and let me know. How many of you in the last week have had somebody try and sell you something on Facebook? Maybe they sent you a message unsolicited. Maybe they posted on your feed or tagged a wall or pitched you in some way. Maybe it was just an ad that really isn't something you're interested in that showed up and disrupted your experience. Yes, totally me, spam messages all day, multiple times, hate that, yup, yup, yup. It's happened, yep, all the time, right? Well, there's some good news. Everyone on social media, even though they don't like to be sold stuff, they love a picture and an inspirational story. So do these story ads work though? Well, Pedro used them to enroll 9 new people in 30 days. Adam used it to make 11 new sales. And I used it, you might recognize that guy in the picture over there to the left. That was a picture of me and Caesar actually. And I used it for a promotion to generate 1,395 leads and a 300% return on that investment. Now you'll see right here, and I believe it or not, I'm going to show you how to use this all the way from if you're brand new in business to if you want to grow your list and generate leads. Any which way, I'm telling you right now, this is something that can work for anyone. And you can see, hey, 1,395 leads, $5,400 in commissions about. Caesar sent me a little prize in that too. I think it came up to about almost $6,000, and I spent $1,600. So I want you to think about that, $1,600 for $6,000. Now, some of you are going, hey, Justice, I'm not about to spend $1,600. I started by spending my first $16. Okay. And that's what's beautiful about advertising. You have an opportunity to continue to increase the money you make. Now, after thousands of hours and well over $100,000 invested in myself between advertising practice and training and education and coaching, I've arrived at one go-to strategy that's driving a great deal of my business. And it's allowing me to get huge results in a fraction of the time that it used to take. I have made more money in the last 6 months working less than at any other point in my business. I'm going to break this one strategy down in 5 steps using a case study example. So here's what I ask of you. First, I ask that you shut down your distractions. Put away Facebook, shut the door to the other room where you hear people chattering around in the background, shut the TV off, close the other windows, get out a notepad, okay, because you're going to want to take notes on this. Pay attention. Stick with me to the very end and pay attention. And I want you to suspend your disbelief. Now, what I mean by that is I mean that because we're human, somewhere along the way, we're going to have that little voice pop into our head that says, not me. Somewhere along the way, we're going to have that little voice pops in that says, oh, but this won't work for my thing, or, oh, but I can't do it because, or, oh, maybe now's not the time. I want you to at least, I can't stick with you every single day and make sure that voice doesn't come up. I got to worry about my own voice, right? We all have that voice. But I want you to at least be self-aware enough and commit to shutting off that voice for, say, the next, I don't know, how long am I going to be with you, 30 to 45 minutes? Can you do that? Can you guys go down in the comments and say, I'm committed? And as soon as I know that you guys are with me and you're paying attention, you got the distraction shut off, we're going to rock and roll into this case study, and I'm going to break down this strategy for you. Rick says, I'm committed. Andrew, I'm committed. Oh, here we go. Now it's just rolling in. 100% yes, excited, committed, awesome. So here's the deal. This is the story ad case study I'm going to do for you. And what makes these ads work so well is that they don't look like ads. I want you to just take a look at that picture over there. Now, if it didn't say sponsored up there under Pedro's name, would you even know it was an ad, or would it look like something that shows up in your newsfeed typically from your friends, right? Facts tell and stories sell. When we run a traditional ad, we only have a few words to work with. Here, we get to write an entire story and get people invested. Now, when I run these ads, and when you run these ads, you've got 3 possible goals. One is to get someone to comment, or these are the 3 ways I teach it. You could probably find other ways. Get someone to comment for more information. This is the simplest. This is where, even if you don't have a website yet, you can get started with. You just say, hey, you're just getting them to say, hey, I want to know more. The next one is to get people to a website, to opt in, or maybe to go and visit a blog post, right, to consume content and then take the next step. Or how I use it a lot of times, or how I've come to use it now, is to get someone to register for a webinar or online event, which is a great, great medium if you want to recruit, if you want to sell, if you want to give value, build relationship. Great, great medium. Now here you'll see with Pedro 204 comments on that post, and that post was a while ago. He's used this strategy so many times over to get results. Now the first step, if you're going to successfully go out there and do a story ad, is to know your audience. Who's your ideal customer? What do you know about them? Are they man? Are they man? Are they a woman? Do they have kids? What kind of job do they work? Right? Where do they live? Then you want to list out their problems, their concerns, their pains, their dreams, and their desires, and what keeps them up at night. Now, how many of you have ever had a night where you just couldn't seem to get to sleep? You're sitting there and you're laying in bed and you're staring up at the ceiling and your mind is just racing. You've got this problem, right? Last night, LOL, me, right? Guys, is that not a really common experience to have that happen, where your mind's spinning enough that you really can't get to sleep? Now, what you want to do is, if you understand who this person is, your ideal customer, who do you want to work with? Who's perfect for your product? Whose problem does your product solve? If you sit down and figure out what keeps that person up at night, I want you to think about the time if you got up from that sleepless night and you went out and you turned on the TV, or you turned on, you got in the car and you heard the radio or XM, or you got on Facebook, whatever it is, and all of a sudden the solution to that problem showed up. Would feel serendipitous, wouldn't it? Feel like it was meant to be. And when you do this right, your prospect, your perfect prospect, is going to go, you know what, you came to me at the perfect time. This product, this opportunity, this service, it's what I've been looking for. I've been thinking about this. Now you want to list the biggest potential objections they'll likely have specific to what you're offering. Time and money are always objections, guys, but there are specific objections to what you're offering that might come up typically. And what you want to do is you want to list those out, because a really cool part is when you tell a story about someone who had the same objection and that person succeeded, or that person lost weight, or that person takes vacations, or that person made money, well, then their objection has gone away because someone else, there's proof right there before you ever talk to them. You want to determine their language. How do they talk? What are their buzzwords? I've got a picture down here of Women's Health magazine, right? These are buzzwords. These are specific words that this magazine knows are perfect for its target audience to grab their attention. You want to think about what kind of language your audience uses. Right? Then you want to craft your ad. Now you want to choose an appealing picture. I want you to think about engagement. What's fun? What's exciting? Think lifestyle. The number one rule, it doesn't have to be yours, can be someone else's picture, but nothing stock. Right? Nothing that is a stock photo, nothing that has a product image, nothing that has writing on it, none of that stuff. Right? Now here's what I find. After you choose your picture, you're going to decide on a story. All right, so the best way to choose a story and the best way to choose a target audience. I know some people go, well, I don't know who my target audience is going to be. In this case, it's just who you're going to write the story to. Okay, and I want you don't even have to think as far as like the big picture and get hung up. If you have a certain audience that you're approaching with your marketing, if you're marketing online already, you can pick a smaller segment of that audience. You want to write the story to a specific person. So when you decide on a story, you can literally pick a story that resonates, a story that you have from someone in your company, a story that you have personally, that you think would appeal to that perfect prospect, to the person you want to work with, to the person whose problem your product, service, or opportunity solves. Now, how many of you know somebody in your company that has a result? Go on in the comments and let me know, because third-party perspective is great. Right? Do you know anybody? Who knows on here one person? Raise your hand if you know one person who's either gotten a result with your product or with your opportunity. It doesn't have to be you. You know someone. Let's see. Whose hands are going to go up? Eileen's hand's up. I've been doing the comments the whole time. I don't know if everybody knows. Clarinda, Dana, Danny. Okay, now all the hands are going up. Well, everybody, guys, this is why your company has those publications and magazines. This is why they tell you the success stories. Now, if third-party perspective works better than you being the one to have result, how cool would that be? That's what I found out. What I found out through testing this is I get better results when it's someone else's story. So now I want you to think about this. If I get better results with someone else's story and someone else's picture than if you were in your first day in business, don't you have everything you need to execute this? Isn't there someone with a story? Isn't there someone with a picture? You can literally remove yourself from the scenario and just use this formula. So if you ever had that hang up that said, oh, but I don't have a result yet, or but oh, who would want to listen to me? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. All you need is someone who's had results. And that's what we have here. Now, I tested all different pictures and on this ad, and this is the picture that won. Why do you think this picture won, guys? Go down in the comments. Let me get some insight as to why you think this might have been my most successful picture. Looks real, funny and real, having fun, curiosity, funny, the guy's face, real. Exactly. Wow, face, they look real, relatable. So if you know somebody who has a result, don't you think they've got some real pictures on their Facebook that you could borrow with their permission? Or might you be able to snap a selfie with someone? It's as simple as that. This is what people will respond to. Now I want to teach you how to write your story. 3 key story elements. The first one is the hook. This is the first few sentences. You see it boxed up in red there. It's got to incorporate either pain or benefit. So you sat there, you figured out who you'd ideally like to do business with, who the perfect prospect is. You listed out their pains, you listed out their desires. Well, that's what you want to put in the first few sentences. And then you want to use curiosity to move people forward. So Pedro here happens to sell a monthly training membership, okay? And it teaches people how to generate leads and stuff online. So he said, I remembered the excitement of hosting my first home party, followed by the pain of getting no-showed by almost all my so-called friends. Last-minute texts, the lame excuses, the less than supportive, even hurtful chatter behind my back. Don't get me wrong, I was 100% committed to having the last laugh here. There was just one problem. Now, I know we've got a bunch of network marketers and some online marketers on here. I want to know who can relate to what Pedro wrote. Who's ever experienced that? Having someone stand them up or no-show them or anything like that? Me, for sure. Me. Okay, so see, Pedro has some training for people just like you, and so what he did was he shared a story that was relatable, but he shared something that was pain-related. Kate and Andrew, for Kate and Andrew, I shared something pleasure-related. This is how a second-grade teacher went from making 0 to making over 5 figures in one night. Pleasure-related. Hungry for more info, I did what any sane business owner would do. ... I moved people forward with curiosity. Now, the body. This is the middle of the story. Now, we've just got snippets here. And I know there's a conversation going on inside a few of your heads that go, well, Pedro is talking about Facebook and leads. What about my skincare or my travel or my health and wellness? Don't worry, I've got an example for you. I'm going to actually walk you through exactly how I'd write a story if I was promoting a nutritional or a health and wellness product, right? So the body of the story is the second part. Now, these are snippets. You're going to write probably a lot more, but here's some key components. You want to highlight the benefits. Some universal benefits that you can use: time, money, and ease. Everybody cares about time, money, and ease. Those are hot buttons. You want to clearly exhibit the problems that have been solved for you or the person in your story. You want to handle objections, and you want to use influence or mental triggers. And I'll tell you exactly how to do these, okay? I'm going to give you some examples right here. Now, influence or mental triggers, there's 10 out there, right? But here's just a couple examples, and you can use them in a lot of different ways. But one is likability, okay? And one way you can become likable in your story is to just write like you speak. Be likable. I mean, when Tanya and Caesar got on, weren't they just kind of being themselves? That's likable. Be authentic, and don't be afraid to exhibit flaws. A couple of heads are going to explode in a moment when you come to a realization of something. Okay? But I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. I want to run down through this stuff. So we've got the body. Let's just read it real fast. Well, I've got some good news to report. I'm not yet sitting with my family on the beaches of the world, LOL, but I'm finally getting some leads, making some sales, growing my business. Best part is what I'm doing right now takes me less than an hour per day. And my prospects don't just respond, they're excited to hear from me. I mean, imagine connecting with people who want to connect with you. They're interested in what you do. They want to know more about your product, service, or opportunity. Better than getting stood up at home parties, right? Now, what do we have here? Well, some universal benefits: time, money, and ease. The benefit is he's getting the result he wanted. He's doing it in a little bit of time. Clearly exhibit the problems that have been solved for the person in your story. He says, I mean, imagine connecting with people who want to connect with you. So that's the aftermath. He's saying, here's what happens after the problem's solved. Handle objections. Somebody says, I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, I did this in only an hour per day. Likability and trust. Well, speaking and saying things like LOL are going to, it's writing like you speak can make you likable and approachable. Exhibiting flaws. Here he says, while I'm not yet sitting with my family on the beaches of the world. Now, everybody's seen marketers out there and people online that are the Lamborghini people, right? The private jet people. How many times when you see someone in front of a Lamborghini, with that polished up picture, do you stop and go, is that really their car? Is that not their car? Right? What's the deal? Now, when Pedro says something like, well, I'm not really sitting on the beaches of the world yet with my family. I'm just getting some leads. I'm an everyday guy. I work part-time. I work full-time, do this part-time. Who do you trust more? Do you trust Pedro more or do you trust the Lamborghini more? The Lamborghini guy. Go down in the comments. Let me know. Who do you trust more? Come in. Pedro for sure. Pedro for sure. Pedro for sure. Pedro. Okay, so here's the realization I'd like you to come to. Most people are out there going, how do I look cooler? How do I look better? How do I make it look like I have better results or have more success or my product's done more or any of these things? When in reality, just being you makes you a heck of a lot more trustworthy, right? Exhibiting, going out there and being authentic will allow you to be trusted and in turn get you a higher response. Now, the last part of the story is the call to action. You want to be clear and tell them what to do. You could tell them what to do, then you tell them what you're going to do, right? And we'll just read through this real fast. We've got, if you want a copy of, he did a little social media download here. And this is what I think is really cool. You can do that. You can craft this any which way. You're either going to, maybe you're showing somebody a video, maybe you're reaching out to message them, whatever it is, you're just doing something cool for them. You're sharing information with them. Now, he put some information into a little PDF, and I have a lot of people say to me, but Justice, I don't know what I'd put in a PDF. I don't know what to do. I had a client recently, brand new, and she created a PDF that where she made a list of her 10 favorite apps if you want to that help you stay healthy and stay on track with your diet. Who can go out there and make a list of 10 apps? Now, I'm not saying that you got to go out there and have something to give away. You don't. I've got lots of students that have nothing to give away other than information about what they do. But you could get creative with this, and just about anybody could put something like that together. So just think outside the box a little bit. Bottom line is, though, is the story's been compelling enough for them to want to take action. Now, when you do that, and you've got the compelling story, and you tell them what to do, people follow instructions. And here's proof. More info, please. 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 How would you like it if people were saying, hey, I want to know about about what it is that solved that person's problem in that story? But Pedro's not alone. Antonio, that's a comment thread right from Antonio's Facebook, sponsored 2 new people and brought in 3 new coaching clients in just 4 days. Eric Freeman made 8 new sales in his first 2 weeks, working just an hour a day. Now, I want to know, would it be helpful if I did this as an example for health and wellness? Would anybody find it helpful if I did like what I would do if I was promoting, specifically leading with product? If I was leading with product in a post like this. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeppers. Okay, cool. So here's a story example, and I'm going to give you some fill-in-the-blank templates here. So example hook for health and wellness. I ran into my friend the other day and almost didn't recognize her. How the heck did she blank, I asked, experience this amazing result, right? What your ideal customer wants. You pull it right out of the things I told you to list out about your perfect prospect. Surely she was pain or objection she might have or pain or objection they might have, right? Then she told me something I couldn't believe. So here's what it looks like when you do something like this with the details. Hey, I ran into my friend at the local pool the other day and almost didn't recognize her. How did a mom of 3 carve out this bikini bod and literally take years off in the process, I asked. Surely she was spending hours at the gym or starving herself. Objection, objection, right? Pain, pain. Then she told me something I couldn't believe. Move them on with curiosity. So we got benefit, we've got pain, we've got curiosity, right? When she told me that she was, insert something easy, simple, low cost, time friendly, and had combined it with, allude to your product, that was awesome because of this reason and does this and does this, I had to know more. Here's what it looks like. When she told me she was doing a few simple and easy exercises at home that took just 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and had combined it with a nutritional product that was all natural, eliminated her cravings, and actually saved her money on groceries, I had to know more, right? Time, money, ease. Think about that. Simplicity, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, saved her money on groceries. We're hitting all those things I told you about. Now, call to action. Thankfully, she shared everything with me, and I'm, insert a simple, understated result, right? You can be normal, be authentic. This has been such a gift, I want to share it with others. If you want to know how we're getting this result and experiencing this pleasure without pain, and it doesn't even have to take you loads of time, spend loads of time at the gym, doesn't cost loads of money, you know, that isn't something where you're going to gain the weight back, whatever people think is their objection. Simply like this post and comment more info, and I'll shoot you the details via private message, what they have to do and what you're going to do. All right? Thankfully, she shared everything with me, and I'm already feeling great and starting to see results. This has been such a gift, I want to share it with others. If you want to know how we're shedding pounds fast and enjoying tons of energy without crash diets or rigorous exercise programs, truth be told, before this, I never stuck to a diet, being authentic, right? Simply like the post, comment more info, and I'll shoot you the details via private message. Now, I'm coming over to the comments here. I want to know who just recognized how templatized something like this can be. And I see someone says, do you have an example for travel? I'll tell you in a few minutes how you can get your hands on an example that's travel related, actually several travel related examples. I got skincare, I got travel, I got it all. Yup, this is awesome, so cool. Yup, wow, truly simple. This is awesome. Oh, we haven't even, guys, in a moment, I'm going to melt faces. You guys are going to be so blown away at what we're going to do with this story. Okay? Wow, cool, cool, cool. So now, the next thing we do with this story is we place an ad. Facebook has rules. It's 100% your responsibility to become familiar with and follow Facebook's ad guidelines. So I'm leaving that to you. Facebook's got rules. You got to know them. They don't like outlandish claims. They don't like stuff about people making millions of dollars or, you know, shady supplements or anything like that. But if you stay within their rules and you understand their rules, then Facebook's an incredible place. Now, something you're going to need is a fan or business page. That's the same thing. They're the same thing. A fan page is a business page to do what I'm about to show you. Now, the good news is if you've got in your head going, if you're going, oh, but Justice, I've never built a fan page or I don't know how to do it. It's free. It takes about 5 minutes to set up, and a simple 3-minute YouTube video that you Google, there will be hundreds of them, will show you how to do it. Now, let's go set up. I'll show you exactly how I would post and set up the ad. Okay, let me shut this down. Here we go. Okay, the first place I'd go is to my fan page. Now, this is the easy way to do it. I do this a little more of a complicated way because, you know, again, I'm more advanced at this. I've been testing this strategy a lot of different ways. But this is the fastest way to run this type of ad. You're going to go in to write something here, and you're going to pick a picture. Now, I know some people in here said they were in travel. I've got a picture here of me and some friends of mine on the beach, right? That happens to be Wilmington, North Carolina, when I'm down there hanging out with my friends Caesar and Tanya in the bedroom that I have now claimed as my own. Okay, that's how I roll when I go down there, right? I say, listen, come on, guys, what are you up to? You gotta want to have some fun. When I tell you, and I'm just gonna say this, guys, whatever life you think Caesar and Tanya live, you can like 5x it, because I had to do some work when I'm down there. They like live on the beach. They want to play golf every day. Caesar's in the gym every morning. You know, I'm envious of the example they set. Okay, they've made me want to go out there and be more successful and do more things and help more people. So I pop in the story here, right? Here we are. We scroll down the story. We've got our beach picture. It's relevant to a travel story. And that's what we got. Now, I'm not going to post this at the moment because the story doesn't match up just perfect. But that's all you do when you click post, right? You saw it down here. Publish. Everybody, almost everybody on here, let's be real, everybody on here knows how to publish a Facebook post, okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my ads manager. If you've never done anything like this before, on your Facebook personal profile, this little menu on the right here is going to kind of guide you through everything you need. You'll find everything you need over there. Again, YouTube is the answer, okay? And this is what it, let me leave this so you can see exactly what it'll look like when you go in. Now, I go through something called a business manager, but it looks pretty much the same. You're going to go up to this green button. You're going to say create ad, and here you are. And you're going to tell Facebook what you want. Now, when I send people out to a website, or I want people to get on webinars, I do something like what's called a conversion ad. Some people might use a traffic ad to send people out to a website. But the key is Facebook is going to give us what we ask for. If we want engagement, they're going to put it in front of people that are more likely to engage. If we want website clicks, they're going to put it in front of people that are more likely to click. So just don't expect something different than what you ask Facebook for. Here, we want comments. Engagement is comments, so we're going to click engagement. Now, they ask us what type of engagement. Do we want offer claims, event responses, page likes, or post engagement? We want people to engage on our post, right? So we go in here, and now we get to start picking the people that we want to put our story in front of. So I'm going to say, let's just kind of stick to the theme here. I wrote that mom story. We talked about the Women's Health magazine. Let's just say we're looking to get in front of moms that are 30 to 50 that are likely to like, say, our health and wellness product, right? So I'm going to say my age range is going to be 30 to 50 here. United States, 30 to 50. Now, I can click women, and then some of them are going to be moms. And you see this number over here. We've got 46 million people that are women between 30 and 50 that live in the United States. But what I can go is I can go over here to detailed targeting. You see this? And I'm going to click browse. And Facebook has all this information on us. Remember that slide I showed you earlier? Well, they've got demographic information on you. Believe it or not, they know how much money a lot of people make. They know what they do for work. They know their relationship status. They know what their financial profile, right? What their income is, what their net worth is, all that stuff. They go out and they pay companies. They pay for this information and try and match it up to profiles because their value is driven by how much they know about people. They are the largest online survey in the world. Think about that, okay? So now, parents, look at that. Okay, all parents, just moms, all parents. We've got age ranges of kids, the whole thing. We're just going to pick all parents for the sake of this. But I just wanted to think about how granular you can get based on your story. Now we're down to 17 million moms who are between 30 and 50 and live in the United States. So let's narrow this audience down. I'm going to click narrow this audience. I'm going to go back to this browse button. I'm going to go into behaviors. All these different behaviors. Digital activities, expats, financial, media, purchase behavior. Cool. Look at this travel behavior for you travel buffs out there. Look at all these different groups of travelers. And there's so many other ways you can go about it. It's endless. But we're going to go to purchase behavior. And let's say we sell a health and wellness shake of some sort. Let's go into food and drink. Well, we've got people here, fresh and healthy, people that already show purchase behavior. They already buy fresh and healthy food. You know, the big misconception is we want people that don't know the benefit of our product, just the opposite. I don't want to go convince somebody they should eat fresh and healthy. I want somebody that already eats fresh and healthy that's looking for great fresh and healthy options. Now we're down to 8.5 million people. Kind of cool, but why don't we narrow it further? Guys, give me a major fitness guru or celebrity out there who's known for like weight loss or fitness or any of that stuff. Go on down, give me a name. Who do you think of? Oh, first name up. Who do we got? Jillian Michaels. Yep, Jillian Michaels, definitely, right? We all know her. Is she the Biggest Loser person? Is that her, right? Jillian Michaels, I definitely know the name. Personal trainer. She's got an audience of about 2.6 million people. So now we're going to narrow it down even further. And our audience is now 840,000 people. Now I could keep going, but we've basically laid these groups of people over each other. 30 to 50, they're moms, but they also have to show purchase behavior of fresh and healthy food. They also have to have shown an interest in Jillian Michaels. And we've got 800,000 people, 840 to be exact, that fall in that category just in the United States. Now, if I put my story about seeing the mom at the pool, getting the bikini bod, and doing it in just a few hours a day, in front of these people, are they not predisposed to respond? Is this not the perfect person? What if you had a picture and the person had an 8-year-old and you said, you know what, I'm only going to run this to moms who have 8 to 10-year-olds? Anybody's mind blown yet that you can take someone else's result? You don't have to have a single result. You can take someone else's result and then you can pick and choose, literally handpick who you put that story in front of and show up in their newsfeed looking like an everyday picture. Stealth. Now, over here, you can choose automatic placements if you want. Facebook will usually do good by you. They're not going to let you run this in certain places because of the amount of text. So I usually choose this, and I just choose Facebook. Okay? Love this. So awesome. This is freaking awesome. I see the dial says this. Heidi, awesome. Tony, I'm seeing the names. Cool. Excellent. Wow. Now you come down here. You set your budget, right? Now you could start at just a few bucks a day. You could do a lifetime budget, spend just $10. You could put in 10 here. I'm going to spend 10 on this ad. Now, obviously, let's be clear. They're going to tell me, I forget what they're going to tell me. Maybe I have to go down to $2 a day on that. Budget set for most has to be at least 28. Please edit your budget. All right, that's fine. So we would do daily budget. Say we go into daily budget and we start at, say, like $4 a day, right? That's what Pedro did. He started at $4 a day. Then we get out there, we push this in front of people, okay? Leave all this as is. You want post engagement. Leave it to automatic. Facebook will do good by you. They're going to put this out there in front of people, and they're going to keep serving it to people that resemble the people that respond. So they're going to try and make your ad successful. We click continue. The next place you're going is over to this tab that says use existing post. Some people create an ad back here, but you're going to go to use existing post, and then you're going to go find that post, okay? So it's your fan page, and then it says select a page post. So when you go through, you're going to be able to find the post of the person that you posted on your wall, right? That story with the picture. So I didn't post the Caesar and Tanya thing, but or the picture of us on the beach. But here's let's see, I just saw one. Here's a story ad about Pedro. It's just a picture, and there's the story, right? And they have to click see more, and then they go into the story, and then it tells them what to do next. That's everything. Then you click place order, and this story is going to be distributed by Facebook in front of the people that you choose. And the key is you want those people to most resemble the person whose story you're telling. That's the secret, okay? When you do that, amazing things can happen. Now, here's what I want to do with you. I want to talk to you about how to make money with this, right? Not just spend money on Facebook ads, but make money. First, you got to know your numbers. What is it you're going to sell, and what do you make off of a sale? Guys, go on down in the comments. Let me know what what a single sale makes for you in money. Does it make you $30, $50, $100? What does it make for you? And I see questions coming in. Guys, I promise I'm going to get to questions. We're going to do all that stuff. 100, 197, 50, 297, 298. Cool, cool, cool. So across the board, I think this is a pretty good number here. It's Pedro's number. How about $100 for easy math? Now, also understand that your customer is a lifetime value. If somebody buys something from you that they get, that they rebuy every month, and they stay on for, say, an average of 6 months, that even though it's $30 there, it's really $180, the value of that customer, right? Then you figure out how many results, and that might be comments, does it take to make a sale, right? And that's going to take you a little practice. You're going to have to respond to the comments and say, hey, I seem to make a sale every X amount of comments. For the sake of math, let's say every 10 comments you make a sale. Well, if you make $100 up front and every 10 comments you make a sale, then $10 per comment is your break-even point. Every time you get 10 comments on average and make a sale, you make your money back. But then you've got the residual on the back end, right? But what? Anything less than that, you're buying money. If you get $5 comments, how often would you spend $5 if it meant $10 to you? As much as you can. You'd go out there and borrow money. But what if I got you $1 comments? How would things change then? Well, that's exactly what Pedro was getting. Look at that, 132 comments at $1.08 per piece per comment. Now, I know people that are getting them at 30, 40 cents. This is just the case study that we're doing, right? $1 a comment. Now, I want to put that in perspective. You can go to Starbucks and buy a Venti pumpkin spice latte and spend $5.61 after tax. Pedro instead chooses to spend $5.40, and he gets 5, not just anybody, not just this person can breathe and they've got a bank account or a credit card. This is 5 people who are actually requesting information from him. Now, I'm just curious, those that are out there that had a little reluctance about the idea of advertising, would you give up the morning bagel or the Starbucks coffee or maybe ditch the Netflix account for a minute if it meant high-quality prospects coming in your direction? Who would? Let me see down in the comments. Yes, all day long. Done. Yes, yes, totally. Well, guys, it is that simple, right? Step 5, the last step in the equation, is to grow your business. You want to test your ad so you keep getting better. So in other words, never settle. Every time you run an ad, all it's doing is telling you information. It's saying, hey, does this work? Does that work? Okay, you want to keep making it better, because I want you to imagine if you put in $1 like Pedro for a comment, and $10 spent on comments produced for you $50. I want you to imagine taking maybe 20 of that profit and reinvesting it. And I want you to think about the compound effect and what that compounding penny over time. That can grow very, very fast. Focus on big leverage points. So if you're closing 1 out of 10 people, right, you could go out there and do all these crazy things, or you could say, hey, you know what, if I just increase my closing percentage by 10%, big things can happen. Because guess what? If you are closing 1 out of 10 people, that's 10%. You increase it by 10%, you're closing 2 out of 10 people, right? You're up to 20%. But really, you're doubling your business. Your business has now doubled. For every 10, you're doing 2 instead of 1. That's a big leverage point. And when you put these pieces together that I've showed you here, you can watch your business grow to new, previously unthinkable heights. Now, here's a recent ad I ran. This single campaign put 938 new people onto my list. This promotion produced $16,000 for me. Now, total transparency here, because I cannot stand when people misrepresent screenshots. Okay? Not every dollar on here came from my advertising. Okay? It didn't. Some of it came from my list, but people get on my list through advertising, which is why I said you can start this with just comments if you're out there growing lists. It doesn't matter. It works for anything because it's the principles that make it work. It's not what it works for. It's the principles that make it work. And this actually won me a seven-night trip for 2 in Cabo, where I believe I'm going to be hanging with Caesar and Tanya. They're going to come out and join us out there. So that's what can happen when you start like I did, basically in your couch cushions, scraping money together to do an ad just so you can learn a little bit and get some feedback, and then you reinvest and reinvest and reinvest your earnings and reinvest your earnings, and before you know it, you're winning Cabo trips and you're doing all kinds of cool stuff. Now, Michael, he put an ad up, and literally within 8 hours, he was making appointments with prospects. Chris put an ad up, and he woke up in the morning to 5 people requesting more information. Chris is in a health and wellness company. He wrote a story about being a dad, okay, and how he felt like he wasn't there for his kids because he was divorced and he had no energy when his kids got to his house. And he had a guy reach out to him like practically in tears, like, hey, Chris, what you said, it's like you told me my story. I need to know the product that changed your life. I want it. 12 leads a day at $1, 12 leads a day, 31 leads at $1.90, and 1 sale. So you got to understand the numbers. 1 sale, 31 leads, $60 spent. That 1 sale makes him $100 up front and $100 residually. On this particular product, I don't care what you could make anywhere from $10 to $1,000. Doesn't matter. All you have to do is know your numbers. That's the secret. Now, does anyone on here see how anyone with any results on any budget can use Facebook to start closing more sales and prospects immediately? I'm curious, who sees it? Yes, me, yup, totally, yes. Cool. I'm curious who's gotten value so far. I like to come on here. I don't like to do, fluff-filled webinars. That's Tanya and Caesar would not have me out here with you guys if I did. They're very, very selective about who they put out in front of their people to share, and they knew what I was going to bring out to you. And I'm curious, so far tonight, have you gotten value? Extreme value, great value, oh heck yeah, good content, definite genius, definitely, cool. Well, we're going to get to Q&A in just a minute because I see a lot of questions here and I want to make sure that you get your questions answered. Guys, I'm going to stick around with you. I'm going to get your questions answered. But I'm curious, how would your business be different if you traded in the morning latte for 5 red hot prospects every single day? What would it feel like if your rank advanced or hit personal sales highs within the next 30 days, exerting the same or less effort than that you're putting in right now? No setting up for home or hotel meetings, no hours upon hours of prospecting, no lame objections, no blogging, no video creation, just a steady and predictable stream of prospects coming your way every single day. While you're at work, while you're spending time with friends and family, even while you're sleeping like Chris. I'm curious if that were to happen, if you were to be able to make that happen regardless of where you're at in your business right now, what would life look like a year from now? A year later, if you were able to get on your phone every day and respond to prospects who were reaching out to you, even if you didn't have a website yet, what could life be like a year from now? Well, I'm not sure why you came here tonight. For some of you, it was to check out a new strategy. Cool, right? For some of you, some people out there are still dipping their toes in the water of home business. You know, I didn't start my home business till the day I made a commitment, right? Till the day I decided to make a choice. That day when I turned that job in, that was really the day I got my business. So I was dipping my toes in till then. I get it. I don't judge, right? But there are other people on here who can see the potential of what I shared with you tonight. There are other people on here who have been looking for something just like this. Maybe you know that this industry is the vehicle through which you're going to create the life you want, and you've just been looking for a way that suits you to do it. Well, for those people, I want to introduce you Social Testimonial Profits. This is a step-by-step guide to raking in leads and sales using Facebook story ads. And here's everything you get. Module 1 is your perfect prospect playbook. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to identify the perfect prospect. So many people get this completely wrong. Okay, when you're out there in the world doing offline stuff, which I highly encourage you to do, right, you want to talk to people that are open. Right? Online, when you're marketing, you need to speak the language of somebody, so you need to know who they are. I'm going to teach you how to find out exactly who they are so that you can start having the right people reach out to you. When the right people reach out to you, the objections go away. When the right people reach out to you, you get a call like Chris did where he goes, oh my goodness, this story, it was like you were meant to show up in my newsfeed. When you get this right, all of that can start happening. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do in this module. Now, a lot more obviously as well, but this is a $297 value. Now, module 2, we're going to get into story selling secrets. What I'm going to share with you in this module is kind of dangerous, right? You know, there are going to be some influence things in here and some things that are going to change the way you get response from people across your life, okay? But what I'm going to teach you when you get in here is how you can change your communication through writing so that someone, when they see it, they know immediately that they were meant to find you, that you've got what they need, right? I'm going to show you how to influence them, how to grab their attention, how to take them out of their trance, because most people are going through life in a trance, and come in your direction, right? These tricks, they're almost kind of hypnotic. They're used in a lot of different aspects of marketing in the world, and I'm going to show you how to basically take what's an everyday story of someone else's result and sprinkle some of this stuff in there so that testimonial now becomes not just a testimonial, it becomes a massive lead generation machine for you. Module 3 is testimonial deployment. This is where you learn how to use the Facebook ads. I show you where to find the perfect audiences. I show you where they're hiding out, where no other marketers are looking. And then I show you exactly what to do to get the story in front of people right away. Even if you're just on a few bucks. This is the deal. People who implement this can have someone to talk to by tomorrow, okay? Only with, you've got two choices. You can either prospect to do that, or you can run ads to do that. Other styles of marketing outside of ads, they take a little bit of time. Nothing wrong with it, but this is by tomorrow, guys. And you're going to get to look over my shoulder and do exactly what I do to make it happen. That's a $397 value. Oh where'd my slides go nuts on me there? There we go. Module 4 is the Profit Maximizer Blueprint. We talked about scaling. I'm going to show you how to take that small investment and reinvest it and reinvest it and reinvest it. I'm going to show you when you should ditch ads, when you should keep them, how to test them and refine them so that you take a profitable ad and you make it twice as profitable so you have twice as much more to reinvest, so the profit on top of that is even more. Okay, this is how you get the compound effect. This is how you go from, spending just a few bucks now to a year from now, literally being able to print your own paycheck, a $347 value. Then you're going to get resources like the Ultimate Avatar Worksheet. This is fill in the blank. It'll keep you completely on track, save you tons of time, and when you're done, you'll be able to plug this information in. Medal winning story swipes. You actually get my 3 best performing story ads ever. These ads have made me tens of thousands of dollars in just the last few months, and I shouldn't be giving them away, but I want you to have resources that are proven already. So if you need an idea, if you need to see how I write, if you want to just make your life a little bit easier because you don't feel like a writer, these are my 3 best ads, and you're going to have access to them. Story ad cheat sheet. This is so you can literally, there's a lot of components to ads. It's not complicated, but you got to make sure that you got everything done right. Right? So this is like the checklist. This is the cross your T's, dot your I's. Make sure that you're not going to put an ad out there only to find out later where you're like, oh, I missed that thing. It's going to save you time of redoing it. It's going to take you the rework time out of it. You can just make sure that the first time you get it up right. The ultimate list of power words. Whatever you write, I'm going to tell you, however average or boring you may think you are as a writer, and some of you are great writers, some of you are like, I hate writing, doesn't matter. Just write out the testimonial, and then I'm going to give you a list of words that are proven to have a huge impact and psychologically trigger your audience. So you can just go plug them in, switch out some words, put in the new words. Fill in the blank power statements. Who liked those fill in the blank statements I did on the slide, where it was like, oh, Susie was at the pool, and then you just insert the thing that they want, right? Didn't that seem to make life a lot easier? Yes, loved them, awesome. Well, that's what this is. These are fill in the blank statements where you can just take the information right off the avatar worksheet and put it in to this worksheet, and all of a sudden you've got little pieces of your story being written so you can make sales fast. Everything you get, the perfect prospect playbook, you get story selling secrets, you get testimonial deployment, you get the profit maximizer blueprint, then you get the resources, the ultimate avatar worksheet, you get my best swipes, the story ad influence checklist, the ultimate list of power words, and the fill in the blank power statements. The total value of this course, guys, is $1,550. And I'm curious, would it be worth $1,550 if all this course did was forever had just 5 highly qualified prospects per week for you to talk to? Now, Pedro gave up the latte, had 5 people coming into him for a day, but what if you had just 5 a week? Just 5 people that already knew that what you had is what they wanted. What would that do a week, a month, a year from now? Just 5. Would it be worth $1,500 in the long run? What if it helped you predictably make an extra 1 to 2 sales a week for good? Whatever you're making now, just add 1 to 2 sales a week. It's predictable. It's like clockwork. You turn it on. You just flip the on button on your little ad. You say, I want people to talk to. You go flip the button. It turns green on Facebook. And a few hours later, you're getting notifications. Would it be worth $1,500? What if you were able to scale up and 5 times, even 10 times your initial results? Guys, you're not going to pay $1,500. You're not even going to pay $1,000. You're not going to pay $500. In fact, right now, risk-free, today, you're going to be able to get in for just 3 payments of $117, or save $54 and make 1 payment of $297. If you want to save some money, just pay $297. Because you're never going to see this price again. I'm going to put this course up to $497, and we are in an opening launch here where I'm bringing it out to the marketplace. And all you got to do to jump in is go to TanyaAliza.com/justice. And you're going to want to do that right now because there's actually some fast action bonuses that I'm going to tell you about in a moment. But before I do, I want you to know that story ads they're a strategy most people haven't taught on. You might not know about them. You might go, well, I'm just not sure. Will it work for me? Will it not work for me? Am I going to like it? Is everything I think this is, what it really is when I get inside? Don't worry about it. 30-day risk-free, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. I'll give you my email right now, support@justiceegan.com. I got an awesome guy named Gio over there. He's great. He gets back to you same day. And if you don't think it's everything that you expected and worth every penny, you send us an email within 30 days. He will refund you, no questions asked. Those are the instructions he has. So grab your copy now over at TanyaAliza.com/justice because there are some special bonuses for those that act fast. The first one, since this is advertising, is 7-figure advertising secrets with my man Vince Reed. Now, what's really cool is Vince is this monster internet marketer. He's the go-to traffic guy, right? But what I did was I sat him down and I asked him questions about what he would do if he was just getting started on Facebook, what he would do if he just had limited budget and he wanted to generate leads. I asked him all these cool questions. But what one of the big questions I asked him is, hey, Vince, when you were in network marketing, you personally sponsored 1,000 people. How did you do it? And how did you onboard them? What did you do? How did your team do it? How did they leverage the internet? And he answered that question on this bonus. And you're going to get that if you get in tonight over at TanyaAliza.com/justice. Jesse Jameson. Now, this guy is my go-to guy for Facebook. I mean, he really knows Facebook and Facebook ads like very few people. And the reality is Facebook has rules. So this is one of the most important bonuses on here, guys, because Jesse's going to tell you how to keep yourself out of trouble with Facebook. Listen, you don't want to have a strategy that literally is like printing money for you and helping you recruit people effortlessly, and then all of a sudden you get in trouble, right? So this is something you want because you want to stay on the good side of the fence. So you're going to get in, get in by the end of the day, and you'll get access to those fast action bonuses. You can do that over at TanyaAliza.com/justice, but that's not it. There's other bonuses, and there's a lot of them here. So here's what I want you to know. I'm going to go through these other bonuses pretty fast, and they're there for you. You have lifetime access to this course. So don't feel like you've got to consume all this information at once. I just want to make sure you've got everything there you could possibly need to go out and get the results you want. The first bonus is this story review vault. There's 10 videos in there, and there's going to be more of stories that I've reviewed. There's skincare and health and wellness and travel and affiliate stuff and high-ticket stuff. I took these stories from my students and I did video reviews of them. So you get to walk around in my head, see how I write, see what I would change, see what worked, see what didn't. Not only can you kind of piggyback their ideas, but you can get my advice while you're doing it. That's a $297 value, guys. This is an insane bonus. You get the copywriting clinic. Okay, this is a 2-part mini course. I'm going to teach you all about writing, and when you learn how to communicate, guys, everything can change. Your kids, you can talk your kids into doing things. You can get better response from coworkers. You can, on Facebook, you can get better responses to your emails. This is just going to teach you everything you know about need to know about communication, both in videos and in the written form, that will get you results in all walks of life, right? Live stream profits. I'm going to show you how to get more reach, okay, more leads and more sales using a really hot profit marketing strategy called live streams. You all see them. They show up in your newsfeed every day. They get an incredible amount of reach. You're going to get this training for free. I got my man Mark Harbert. I said, listen, I got a crew of people. They're going to be doing some story ads. He's been crushing it with story ads thanks to a little help. And I said, can you come over? And when you teach those who might want to do video, if they want to do video, will you teach them how to use the same Facebook strategies to get a perfect video message in front of people? He said, absolutely. So we've got the man Mark Harbert teaching you video ad mastery. Then I said, hey, listen, people are going to get a lot of comments. There's going to be a lot of conversation going via Messenger. They want to recruit. Let me talk to my man, John Melton. He's recruited over 300 people from social media alone, built a team of over 7,000 doing it, been a 6-figure earner for years, and he does it through Facebook Messenger. And he's going to teach you how to make the initial contact, how to move the conversation to the phone. He's got this really cool little trick he does with the audio feature. He likes to use that voice recorder, and man, it sets him apart from everybody. So I sat him down, and I said, listen, I got these people. They're going to get loads of comments on their stories. Tell them what to do. Tell them what to do next. You're better at this than me. Why don't I get the expert in here to help you guys take the results I teach you how to get and take them to the next level? Then I sat down with Antonio Thompson. I said, buddy, I want to teach these people how to turn these comments into customers, how to close the sales. What's the difference maker? This guy was a student of mine years ago. He became a rock star. He's been using these ads, and he's been closing sales like crazy from them. So I said, come on and teach. I want to know. I want my people to know how to get the most out of the story as they're writing. Then you get the Social Testimonial Profits Facebook group. This is where you get the support. This is where you get the guidance. This is where you're around your peers. And this is where I'm going to be spending my time if you need anything. Guys, you get all this at TanyaAliza.com/justice. Right? I wanted to had people earlier tell me I feel like I'm stealing from you. Like this isn't even fair. I'm going to make it less fair. I believe that webinars are, well, it's not my belief. This is fact. Webinars are the most powerful way, most effective way to sell or recruit online. They are the most effective medium, the most leveraged medium. I mean, you can sell products, you can recruit like crazy right from the comfort of your own home. Now, I know that a lot of you may go, Justice, I'm not ready to do a webinar just yet, okay? But the reality is down the road you might want to be. And I use this strategy for webinars. And I want you to be able to use this strategy as well and as successfully as I do. So I have a course called Cash In On Webinars that sells on my website for $297 retail. That's what it sells for. And I'm going to throw it in for free. You can shelve it for now and come back to it later when you're ready to take this to the next level. But I want you to have the entire course. It's a 4-module course, resources, everything, A to Z on running webinars. And I mean, there's webinar courses out there, guys. People are charging $1,500, $2,000 for them. I'm telling you, I teach you the goods in here, and you're going to get it tonight. TanyaAliza.com/justice is where you want to go. Now you're going to get the fast action bonuses. You're going to get the copywriting clinic, the story ad vault, live stream profits, video ad mastery, messenger recruiting secrets, turn on comments into customers, social testimonial profits, Facebook group, and the mega bonus of the Cash In On webinars. Total value, guys, now is $3,226, and all you have to do is make a risk-free investment of a 3 payment of $117, or you can save $54 and make 1 payment of $297 over at TanyaAliza.com/justice. Now, I'm going to bring my girl Tanya out here, right, because as if, I don't know if she knew how many bonuses I had, but she wanted to throw a little something in. So, Tanya, are you there?
I'm here, buddy. Yeah, you do have a lot of bonuses. That's cool.
That's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Good God.
There are a lot of value back there. And guys, I know what's back there because Justice has given me a sneak peek, and I actually have been using the training on Facebook. It's working.
I've got bad news for you.
What?
You don't know what's back there because you got a sneak peek in the old membership site, and I've added loads and loads and loads of stuff to the new membership site. So guys, if you get in, okay, you're getting a glimpse at stuff Tanya doesn't have access to right now, and they're not coming over until after the launch because I don't want to migrate everyone. So you get in before Tanya and Caesar. It's cool.
So we're still in beta version of this. There's more. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I took a look at what Justice was offering. I know what he's offering, and I've been running Facebook ads for many, many years for my business, very successfully. It's one of our main strategies that we use for everything. And one of the things that I know, being a user back there, is, well, what happens after you start running the ad? How should you be looking at your analytics back there that Facebook so graciously gives us? So what means that your Facebook ad is doing good? What means that your Facebook ad maybe isn't doing good? And when do you turn off an ad? How do you adjust an ad? And how do you look at those numbers? And when do you know when to scale? So this is something that I've gotten really good at. I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars on learning from experts out in the industry so that I could apply this knowledge to my business. So I thought what I would do for everybody that buys the social testimonial profits from Justice through my link at TanyaAliza.com/justice, that I would add something as well, and we're going to do a private VIP webinar training where I'm going to show you how to read your Facebook ads. So you actually have the confidence in knowing that, okay, once they're approved and they're running, are they performing well for you, and are you making your money back? And just to give you a little teaser, I typically make between 4 to 8 times the return on investment with my Facebook ads. It's incredible. So if you know how to read these numbers, it can really mean truly the world for your business, and then you know that you're making money on Facebook, not spending money on Facebook. All right, so I wanted to add that in, and so what I'll do is probably the first week of March, we're going to get a link out, and we will invite you to this private VIP webinar training where we'll teach you how to read your ads, and by that time you should have some ads running, and you should have some data that you can work with me on that webinar. So how does that sound, guys? Pretty cool? I'm going to probably sell that training after for about $197 to $297, but I'll throw that in for you guys because I think it'll be very valuable to go along right with this training.
I mean, I know the type of numbers that you run in Facebook from a standpoint of return, and I'm floored, right? So, like, I'm a little jealous right now, guys. I might have to finagle my way into the Facebook ads maximized here because Tanya is just as a green, she is just she rocks those numbers, and man, you know how to turn a profit. That's for sure.
Yes, Caesar always tries to get me to train him too, and I gotta start charging him for this coaching I give him.
I know.
No doubt about it. No free coaching Thursdays, Caesar.
So I hope that helps you guys as well. I just wanted to, make sure that you are supported along this journey with Justice. But I mean, I'm very excited to have him show you what he's doing and to help you with your guys' business, because he's definitely helped me with mine. Just with the little tweak that he showed me, guys, I'm getting about 1/4 the cost that I used to spend on leads with this strategy. And I was even okay spending 4 times as much as I'm spending now, but that just equals more bottom line profit on the return for me. So thank you, Justice, for sharing that with me.
You're very welcome. I can't tell you how many top marketers like you guys have come to me and said, Justice, I can't believe it. I mean, I'm talking 7-figure people. I helped my buddy Mark, cut his lead cost in half, and he was super profitable. But then he's like, he called me over 2 days later. He's like, you got to look at this. So guys, I mean, this stuff just works. We've got a little nook in here in Facebook ads that people are not taking advantage of, and you can go out there and be different. And here's a few people that went through the beta course. Now, this is the course that Tanya is inside, right, which doesn't have a lot of the stuff that's inside the one you're getting into. And this is what they said. Social Testimonial Profits course has been by far the very best course I've ever purchased over the last year, and possibly ever. To think I almost didn't register. I've been focusing things on my business. I'm so glad I got this course. Section on Facebook ads worth 10 times the investment. Gil said, hands down the best course when it comes to Facebook ads, and no, it's not the first time I purchased, right? Jessica said that it was worth every penny spent, that I got above and beyond, and that was the group that got less. So all you got to do is go over to TanyaAliza.com/justice, and now you get the fast action bonuses tonight. You get Tanya's bonus. You get all the bonuses I listed. Here's my buddy Mark. Says he comes to me. He was floored when he saw what I was doing with story ads. Ray Higdon says Justice is talented and trustworthy. He'll do everything he can to get you to the next level. And all you have to do, guys, is dive in. Ooh. And Tanya, you wanted to go over to Facebook, right? Oops.
Yeah, I just want to know the biggest takeaway that you guys got. So if you guys head over to my Facebook page, head over to facebook.com/Tanya Aliza, and Justice is going to pull it up so you see where to go. But I just posted a comment there off my cell phone, and I want to see your guys' beautiful faces over there, because sometimes we don't get to see your picture on the go-to meeting. So I want to see your beautiful faces over there, and I want to say hi, and I want to kind of interact with you over there. But I want to know, what was the biggest golden nugget that you got out of today's training? And if you scroll underneath my pinned post, you'll actually see it, Justice.
Okay.
Scroll down a little bit. It'll probably be underneath that pinned post there.
Did you get value tonight? What was your biggest golden nugget?
Right there. Right, so you guys will see 8 minutes ago I posted, so did you get value tonight on the training? So if you start popping over there and tell me what your biggest golden nugget was. We'll get to questions in a minute. Justice has agreed to stay on a little bit later for us, for anybody that has questions, and I see some good questions that are actually coming in that'll be helpful for us to stay on. But I want to know, what was the biggest takeaway, or what do you plan on implementing from tonight? Because I know we spent a little bit of time together, guys, but here's the thing: nothing means anything of what you learn, whether you buy the course or not. I mean, if I would definitely, because I know the value of Facebook ads, guys, it's insane. But Justice even gave you a ton of value regardless, that you can go with those little examples, those little script pieces that he gave you. Those alone, you can go on and just post tonight and see the interaction and comments that you get, and then, it's just incredible. So I want to know what your biggest takeaway is. I want to know what you're implementing, what you're excited to implement, and just share and show Justice some love. Thank him for coming out tonight, because he's really worked hard at putting this together for you guys and testing it in his own business to make sure it works before he even trains it, which is really cool. So if you guys, I'm going to be on my cell phone, and I'll pop in, I'll say hi, and I'll be able to connect with your beautiful faces.
I just want to address, a couple of people said, I reloaded the page, Infusionsoft won't let me correct the info. Guys, obviously we'll solve any problems you have. My email is support@justiceegan.com. If you can't, sometimes when a lot of people are purchasing at one time, the spinning wheel might spin a little too long, but we'll get it figured out for you, okay? So don't, no worries. We'll make sure you get in, but hopefully you get it all figured out. Hopefully it sets itself up for you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are on here tonight, so please mind technology, just be patient with it. You know, there's going to be a lot of people going to that page and actually, making a purchase tonight, as people normally do when they hop on our trainings, which, we give good value. So, if you want to dive deeper with the strategy that you just learned, absolutely, do it for yourself in your business. And the cool thing is I've actually always been scared to train on Facebook ads, because just I know that a lot of people are scared about spending a lot of money and not knowing what their return on investment is going to be. But when Justice showed me some of the results of some of the people that had like $5 ad spend, like you can get on Facebook, guys, and run an ad for $5 and see what happens with this thing. You can go on and do one for $10 a day and maybe have it run for a couple days, turn it off for the week, start it up again for the next week. It really depends on on what you want to do. And when I saw that, and I know people fearful of budget and all that, I was like, this is truly a great strategy for somebody. And here's the mindset shift that I want to give you guys as well. We are all, every single one of us on this training has a business that you're running. Now, as a business owner, you have to start thinking like a business owner. What does that mean? You have to invest in your business. I don't care what it is. It's either investing with time or money. You're going to have to invest money if you want to make money. Now, when I started in network marketing, that was something that I really had to get my head around, because it was never sold to me like a real business is ever sold to somebody. And the minute I finally got my head around, okay, I need to treat this like a business if I want it to start paying me like a business, you know what happened? It started paying me like a business, right? And now we invest tens of thousands of dollars every year into training and courses so that we can increase our value and become better leaders within the industry and within our teams as well. And that just means that we can charge more for our value because we have invested in ourselves. So I want to encourage you guys tonight, if you're like, well, I don't want to spend any money on my business, then you need to start thinking like a business owner for your business to start paying you like you own the business. Okay? Just a little mindset shift, because I wish somebody kicked my butt in that area beginning when I started my network marketing business, because I was too cheap. And what I did is I just wasted myself a whole lot of time, frustration, and energy until I just got the goods and hung out with people that knew what they were doing and said, here, teach me what you know. I want to know how to do this the right way.
Yeah. And I mean, and I keep things super simple, and here's the deal. At the end of the day, investing in this course is a tax write-off, and so is all the money that you spend on advertising towards generating your business. So bing, bang, boom, it's pretty much win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Totally.
No doubt about it.
Totally. So I love the faces that I'm seeing. I'm going to come and start liking all of you guys. I'm recognizing a lot of you guys on my comments page. That is pretty cool. Somebody's asking, can we pay with PayPal? How do you handle that, Justice?
So what don't you do? And I'll put my email right on one of these slides. Shoot an email over to support@justiceegan.com, and we will if PayPal is a must, we will find a way to work something out. Okay.
Yeah, and then what would you consider a minimum time frame to run an ad to have an effective engagement conversion? Michelle, effective time frame, just like Justice said, you could have your ad up today and start generating comments today, later today, or tomorrow. That's literally the strategy.
And that's what you should go for, right? I mean, you should set the intention right now, or just take the action, right? There's not even time for intention. Yeah, I had somebody when I first brought my group of test people into this course to see how people responded to it, what kind of results we could get them, and all that stuff. Many of which you saw, some of which you saw on the slide, and I had a gentleman that was on a free webinar, much like what we did tonight, and he turned around and he went out and took action, and he reached out to me the next day with a screenshot, and he had like 40 comments on the thread, and that was literally the day after he was on a very similar webinar. So don't overthink it, right? Don't overthink it. Get out and do.
I like that. Yeah, I mean it's so simple. It just takes activity action, right? So is anybody really excited? I know we've got a bunch of sales that have come through, people have purchased. Anybody really excited to put this in their business? If you are, say yes, I'm super excited and pumped. And here's, yeah, and thanks Justice for putting up your support email. If you guys have any questions, just take a snapshot with your phone of the screen right now, and Justice will have his support team reach out to you and help you if you're having any order issues. I know with that order form, I use the same system. When you put in the wrong credit card information or you miss something, it like locks it for security purposes, and you got to like clear your cache, or try a different internet browser. That will work for you, or send a support email to Justice's team and he'd be happy to help you out. But here's what I'm going to do for sake of time. If you guys have any questions on the course as well, just send a message over to Justice's support email there, because I want to respect all your guys' time, and you guys have businesses and that you're running. I want to make sure that you go and rock on and do your thing with your teams and your businesses. But Justice, is there anything else that you would like to add to my awesome peeps?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, just Geo knows the deal, that people are going to come in, that this is a new topic for people. If you're thinking this is a fit for you, just dive in, and we'll get your questions answered, and you got the guarantee, and we want to get you in there to get you looking around, get you getting your first story out. Outside of that, I just say thank you. Thank you guys for taking some time out of your night and coming out tonight. Happy that you all got value. Happy that you all saw something, had a light bulb go off. I'm sure we shook up a few people that are gonna make a turn in their business in a big way, like I was able to a few years back. And thank you to you guys. I mean, I appreciate you having me out in front of your people. Been an amazing night, and happy to share.
Thank you, Justice. You are a gem. We're happy to be friends with you, and we can't wait to see you in Cabo in a few months. This will be great.
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
All right, buddy. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for your time. And everyone, hop over to my Facebook page, and Justice is going to come and say hi and thank everybody there, so you can actually kind of connect with him as well through those comments, and check out what he's doing, and just say thank you to Justice for his time, because his time's pretty valuable, especially right now. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for your time, and I hope you got a ton of value out of this training. I will see you over on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, my blog, wherever we happen to see each other. And Caesar just hopped downstairs. He wanted me to say have a good night to you guys as well. We'll see you on the next training. Good night, everyone.